Tonight, Donald Trump wins big in Iowa, then goes straight to court today. And what next now in New Hampshire? Also tonight, the treacherous driving and this dangerous Arctic blast sweeping in. Now the new storm we're tracking tonight. And news coming in of a 10-year-old boy attacked by a shark while on vacation, invited to swim with the sharks. First tonight, just hours after Donald Trump's major victory in the Iowa caucuses, the former president immediately going to federal court here in New York City. Meantime, in Iowa, just 14% of registered Republicans taking part. Now to New Hampshire. Nikki Haley within single digits of Trump in the polls. And Haley says she will not debate unless Donald Trump is on that stage. Ron DeSantis in Haley's home state of South Carolina today. Rachel Scott on what to watch for. This dangerous winter blast across the U.S. tonight from Texas to Florida up to the Northeast. The frigid temperatures moving in. New York City, Philadelphia at long last getting snow. The treacherous driving across several states. The National Guard called in to help stranded drivers. And now the next storm we're already tracking at this hour. Rob Marciano is here to time it out. In New York City tonight, we have just learned 2 NYPD officers have been shot and wounded. The suspect possibly grabbing an officer's gun. The major turn tonight in the case of the alleged Long Island serial killer now charged with murdering a 4th woman. And for the first time tonight, you will hear from the daughter of one of his alleged victims. Stephanie Ramos reporting. New airstrikes tonight, the U.S. targeting those Iranian-backed militants, Houthi missile facilities in Yemen. And new reporting here, what U.S. Navy SEALs found on that ship during the daring mission, during which they lost 2 Navy SEALs who fell into the water, still missing tonight. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and that surgery and hospital stay kept secret at first. Tonight here, the 911 call after those complications and the request from the caller to 911 about being discreet. And that news coming in now about a 10-year-old boy on vacation with his family, attacked by a shark in the Bahamas. Authorities say during an activity during which he was invited to swim with the sharks. And America Strong here tonight, determined to save the dog. Incredible images right here tonight.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. The frigid cold moving in, this new storm already brewing tonight, and that developing headline in New York City, 2 NYPD officers shot and wounded. But we do begin tonight with the race for President Donald Trump winning big in Iowa with just more than half the vote. But amid the frigid temperatures there, just 14% of registered Republicans turned out for the Iowa caucuses. And then today, just hours after his victory, Trump was in New York City on his way to court in the defamation case brought by the writer E. Jean Carroll. The jury must now decide how much he owes her. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who just edged out Nikki Haley for second place in Iowa today in Haley's home state of South Carolina before heading to New Hampshire. Nikki Haley in New Hampshire already, where polls show she is within single digits of Donald Trump. Tonight, Haley now refusing to debate unless Donald Trump is on that stage. ABC's Rachel Scott leading us off from New Hampshire tonight.
Less than 24 hours after a blowout victory in Iowa, Donald Trump heading straight to a Manhattan courtroom, choosing to attend day 1 of the defamation case against him by writer E. Jean Carroll. A jury will determine how much he owes Carroll in damages. After court, it was on to New Hampshire, Trump hoping to cement his lock on the Republican nomination.
I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together.
Trump won Iowa with 51% of the vote, smashing historical records. Still, nearly half of Republicans chose someone other than the former president. And turnout was low, just 14% of Republicans showing up to caucus. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis coming in second, with former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley right behind him. Haley flying into New Hampshire, where polls have her within single digits of Trump. She says it's now a 2-person race, Haley versus Trump, and she's refusing to participate in any debates without him.
Just to put a finer point on it, you're not going to do a debate here in New Hampshire unless Donald Trump is on the stage.
I mean, that's who I'm running against. There is nobody else I need to debate. I have had 5 strong debates and have done plenty of them. He can't hide forever. At some point, he's got to get on a debate.
DeSantis, who trails in New Hampshire, hopscotching ahead to Haley's home state of South Carolina, which holds its primary on February 24th.
Look, she was governor here for 6 years. Can you name major achievements under her tenure? I mean, tell me if there are, because she hasn't been able to do it.
Haley brushing it off.
I'm sure he had a great time. South Carolina's a great state, but he's in single digits in South Carolina and single digits in New Hampshire. He's been invisible in both states. He is not my concern. I'm going after Trump.
David, you heard Nikki Haley say she will not debate unless Donald Trump is on that stage. Trump has provided no indication that he plans to debate. So now the ABC News WMUR debate for Thursday night has been canceled. The New Hampshire primary is just 1 week away from tonight. David.
1 week away, and you're already there. Rachel Scott tonight. Thank you. We're going to turn now to the dangerous winter blast. More than 100 million Americans on alert from Texas to Florida, right up to the Northeast. The snow drought ending for Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. The snow, of course, followed by freezing rain, treacherous evening commute in the Northeast, in fact. The Deep South slammed multiple accidents on I-75 near Knoxville, Tennessee. One person was killed. Icy conditions halting traffic on I-65 near Coleman, Alabama, stranding drivers overnight. Alabama guardsmen called in to rescue them. In Philadelphia, look at this, a bus sliding backward right down this hill, spinning out. New York City streets, a rare moment of quiet in some parts after the first measurable snow in nearly 2 years. Flight cancellations tonight mounting and the frigid air moving in. Now the new storm we're already tracking tonight. Rob Marciano with the forecast and Trevor Ault right here in New York.
Tonight, that Arctic blast dumping snow and ice, fueling treacherous travel from the Northeast to the Deep South. Nearly half a foot of snow in spots, finally ending the snowless streak for many northeastern cities, but making for a white-knuckle commute home for millions.
Words of the wise, slow down.
In Philadelphia, watch as this city bus loses control trying to climb a hill, crashing into parked cars. And on an ice-covered Interstate 65 north of Birmingham, Alabama, this tractor-trailer swerving in all directions before jackknifing into the guardrail. And this was the scene overnight on the same interstate. The National Guard called in to help dozens of stranded drivers. The storms fueled by a record-breaking Arctic blast. In Chicago, where it felt like -30 this morning, they're using flames under the train tracks to keep them free of snow and ice. And in Allen, Texas, watch as this homeowner checking the frozen pipes on his pool is nearly blown away when the filter exploded. In the West, the rising risk for dangerous avalanches. New video shows the moment Bob Tillotson was rescued from an avalanche Saturday at American Fork Canyon in Utah. Rescuers digging through feet of snow, finally saving him. Tillotson says he was trapped for nearly 15 minutes.
And David, this weather is wreaking havoc for air travel, too. Across the country, there's been nearly 24,000 flight delays and cancellations in just the past 2 days, and it's going to take days for the airlines to get caught up. David.
Trevor Ault with us live tonight from JFK. Trevor, thank you. Let's get right to senior meteorologist Rob Marciano tracking it all. He's in Colorado tonight, where this next system is now on the way. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. It's just about winter now for everybody. So where it has snowed, it's going to stick around a while because we got more cold stuff coming down. 2 degrees tomorrow in and around the bus stop. Snow cooled in D.C. Kids going back to school. It's going to feel like 0 in St. Louis. -18 still tomorrow in Chicago. No big warm up. The pattern is such. Another reinforcing shot of cold air coming later in the week. And it's going to feel like 24 below again in Kansas City. Going to feel like near 0 in Memphis on Saturday and 10 in New York City. Next storm up hitting the northwest right now in the form of rain, mountain snow that gets into Colorado here across the Park Range and Steamboat. Avalanche warnings are up. Could see 1 to 2 feet more of snow. This is a system that's going to trek across the country into that cold air, which means another pulse of snow for the northeast quarter of the U.S. come late in the week. David?
A beautiful Colorado sky, though, tonight. Rob, thank you. We turn now to the major turn in the case of the alleged serial killer just outside New York City, Rex Heuermann, a New York City architect and father, charged in the murder of 3 women already, now charged in the murder of a 4th woman. And tonight, for the first time, the victim's daughter breaking her silence. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, suspected serial killer Rex Heuermann, charged with murdering 3 women found on Gilgo Beach on Long Island, now indicted in the killing of a 4th victim.
We charged the murder of Maureen Brainerd Barnes to add to the already charged murders of Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman and Amber Costello.
Maureen Brainerd Barnes' remains found near the beach back in December 2010, along with 3 other women known as the Gilgo Four. In new court filings, prosecutors say cutting-edge DNA analysis linked Heuermann's wife to female hair found on the buckle of a belt used to restrain Brainerd Barnes.
It was 7.9 trillion times more likely to have come from someone with the identical genetic profile as Asa Ellerup.
To build their case, investigators also tracking Heuermann's daughter Victoria on a Long Island Railroad train, recovering a can of Monster Java she'd thrown in the trash for analysis. Heuermann's wife and daughter appearing at his arraignment today. Prosecutors say his family were out of town during the murders.
I'm here to speak for my mom, Maureen.
And tonight, Brainerd Barnes' daughter, Nicolette, speaking publicly for the first time. She was just 7 years old when her mother was brutally murdered.
While the loss of my mom has been extremely painful for me, the indictment by the grand jury has brought hope for justice for my mom and my family.
Heuermann has pleaded not guilty on all charges and is being held without bail. Authorities continue to investigate the unsolved deaths of 6 other victims found near Gilgo Beach. David.
Stephanie Ramos reporting tonight. Stephanie, thank you. Overseas in Japan tonight, 2 passenger planes colliding just 2 weeks after a deadly crash at a Tokyo airport. Heavy snow falling when the wing of a Korean air jet slammed into a Cathay Pacific aircraft parked next to it. Officials say the Korean plane was being towed for takeoff when the towing vehicle slipped in the snow. No one was injured. The investigation is still underway tonight after that Japan Airlines passenger plane collided with a Coast Guard plane and went up in flames at Haneda Airport. Everyone you'll remember on the passenger plane survived. 5 people on the Coast Guard plane were killed. We turn now to the war in Ukraine tonight. There are reports this evening of 2 powerful explosions targeting residential buildings in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, of course. At least 17 people were injured. The attack comes as President Biden now prepares to meet with congressional leaders from both parties tomorrow about more aid for Ukraine. Tonight, the U.S. carrying out new airstrikes on Houthi missile facilities in Yemen as those Iranian-backed militants now continue to target ships in the Red Sea. We also have new details tonight about that daring mission during which 2 U.S. Navy SEALs were lost. They are still missing tonight, but what their fellow SEALs found. Here's Matt Gutman.
Tonight, that desperate search for 2 Navy SEALs missing at sea in the Gulf of Aden during that daring nighttime mission. These new images tonight showing the U.S. efforts to disrupt the flow of weapons to Iranian-backed Houthi rebels. While boarding a suspected weapons smuggling boat, 1 Navy SEAL fell into the sea, and following protocol, another SEAL jumped after him. The operation continuing with the SEALs seizing these weapons revealed in new images tonight. Materials used to build missiles, the same weapons deployed by the Houthis in at least 30 attacks on commercial shipping vessels.
That's a significant operation that they haven't historically done. So this shows that they are escalating their interdiction operations, and they're also approving things that they typically do not.
Tonight, the Pentagon saying it launched another round of airstrikes inside Yemen, destroying 4 Houthi anti-ship ballistic missiles prepared to launch. The operation marks the 3rd round of retaliatory strikes against the Houthis since Thursday amid the ongoing attack on vessels in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden since mid-November, disrupting one of the world's busiest shipping routes. And National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan warning there could be additional strikes.
We anticipated the Houthis would continue to try to hold this critical artery at risk, and we continue to reserve the right to take further action, but this needs to be an all-hands-on-deck effort.
And David, an official tells us the White House intends to put the Houthis back on the list of foreign terrorist organizations after President Biden removed the group back in 2021 over concerns the designation would cripple the Yemeni economy and send it into a famine. David.
Matt Gutman in Tel Aviv tonight. Matt, thank you. Back here in the U.S. and on Capitol Hill tonight, news of a rare bipartisan agreement across both houses of Congress on tax relief for American families. The $78 billion tax deal would partly restore pandemic-era child tax credits that cut child poverty rates in half in this country and reinstate some business tax benefits as well. Negotiators are racing to pass the deal in time for a tax deadline next month. Also from Washington, news on Donald Trump's legal issues tonight. The full D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals rejecting an effort by Twitter to reconsider a move that allowed special counsel Jack Smith to access records from Donald Trump's Twitter account. As we previously reported, the social media company secretly tried to fight Smith's effort to get metadata and a handful of direct messages allegedly sent by Trump before he was suspended by Twitter after the Capitol riot. Smith already has the information. It shouldn't affect the case moving forward, though it's unclear tonight whether Twitter will appeal the case now to the Supreme Court. When we come back here on this Tuesday night, there's news coming in at this hour. 2 New York City police officers shot and wounded, the suspect possibly grabbing an officer's gun. And then news on that 10-year-old boy attacked by a shark in the Bahamas, authorities say during an activity where the boy was invited to swim with the sharks. Tonight, we have learned that 2 New York City police officers have been shot and wounded responding to a domestic call in Brooklyn. Authorities say the suspect struggled with police inside the apartment, the suspect allegedly grabbing an officer's gun and opening fire. The other officer firing back, wounding the suspect. One officer shot in the hand, the other hit in the leg. All are expected to survive. Tonight, ABC News obtaining the 911 call requesting an ambulance at the home of Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin after complications from the surgery he kept secret at first. A federal employee calling for help on New Year's Day, asking Secretary Austin be taken to Walter Reed Medical Center after suffering those complications from prostate cancer surgery. The caller asking the dispatcher to be discreet.
Can I ask, but can the ambulance not show up with lights and sirens? We're trying to remain a little subtle.
Secretary Austin hospitalized for 2 weeks. No one, not even President Biden, was told about his condition for several days. Tonight, a 10-year-old boy is recovering following a shark attack in the Bahamas. Authorities say the boy was bitten on the right leg while taking part in a shark excursion at a resort on Paradise Island. He is in stable condition, we're told. The boy is from Maryland. There's no word tonight on whether family members were with him when it happened. When we come back here tonight, the measles alert for passengers traveling through 2 American airports. We'll have details and reports involving one member of the Kelce family tonight, a new chapter for a popular NFL star. To the index of other news tonight, and a federal judge has now blocked JetBlue's merger with budget rival Spirit Airlines, a victory for the Biden administration that had argued it would drive up fares for cost-conscious travelers. JetBlue claimed the $3.8 billion merger would have created the nation's 5th largest airline and help it compete with Delta and United. In a joint statement tonight, JetBlue and Spirit saying they are evaluating next steps. Health officials are now alerting travelers about possible measles exposure after an infected person passed through 2 airports in Washington, D.C. The unidentified person was traveling internationally, first arriving at Dulles Airport between 4 and 8 p.m. January 3rd. The next day, the same person going to Terminal A at Reagan Airport between 2:30 and 6:30 p.m. Health officials say those who have never received a measles vaccine may have been at risk. And Philadelphia Eagles star Jason Kelce apparently retiring after 13 seasons. ESPN reporting he broke the news to teammates following last night's playoff loss to Tampa Bay. Kelce, of course, is beloved in Philly, helping lead the team to its first and only Super Bowl win. He and his brother Travis famously went head-to-head in last year's Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Chiefs. Travis won that one. When we come back here tonight, the firefighter determined to save the dog. The incredible images right here tonight.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Voya Financial.
Finally tonight here, saving the family dog. America Strong. Tonight, with the bone-chilling cold and snow sweeping the nation, so many first responders helping those in need.
Bob.
At Steed Pond in Clearfield, Utah, just outside Salt Lake City, North Davis District firefighter Logan Hadley determined to rescue one family's dog named Bob.
He's gonna help you.
Crawling on his hands and knees to the dog in that protective suit meant to keep him warm and to keep him afloat.
Don't worry about it, he's gonna save you. Bob, it's okay.
Then that firefighter spinning around to enter the freezing water. His team helping to guide him.
Behind him and come up. Go that way.
Firefighter lowering himself into the icy water.
He's in the ice.
Approaching the dog, Bob.
Good job, good job.
Carefully grabbing him, helping him up.
Start pulling. Pull, guys, pull, pull, pull.
Rescuing Bob the dog from the water, firefighter Logan then pulled to safety by his own team.
Yeah, that's right. It's okay, come here. Bob, come here.
And right here tonight, dried off and warm.
Hey, David.
Firefighter Logan Hadley telling us Bob the dog is doing well.
I'm glad we could all get out there and save that dog. It was a team effort. Everyone was involved. Stay safe on the ice. Don't go out there necessarily immediately and try and save them. Call the right services. Let us get out there with the proper training, proper equipment, and get the job done.
Bob the dog home and warm tonight, probably still wagging his tail. And of course, we thank firefighter Logan and all of our rescuers. I'm David Muir. Good night.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. If you love being in the know, you're going to love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.